Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Trust me, this won't be a long stream. I just had to rant a little bit. Just had to rant a little bit. Hope everybody's having a good day, man. And we're alive and living color. Uh, I'm glad it's nobody in the room but me. But I see Teresa came in early. How you doing, Teresa? Hope all is well with you. Caught the replay. Okay. But yeah, I just gotta get into it. It's nerd news. Like I said, I'm experimenting with this channel. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. It will be a bit of anime, will be manga, video games, and of the sort. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I mean, it's just another quiet space for me to use my creative juices, I guess. But anyway, let me kind of get into it. And like I said, it's won't be a long stream. I just wanted to kind of get some stuff off my chest and ask the question as I kind of get into it. For those who are into the video games, shouts out to you, kudos to you. But I was playing Mindseye, is the new AAA game. For those who don't know what AAA means a major studio has produced a game. But I was playing Mindseye, and it was an experience unlike I've had in a very, 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 very long time. Now, I will say this. Sometimes when games launch, there's bugs, they have to go back and patch and do that kind of stuff. And so that's to be expected, especially when you talk about AAA titles that are putting out something that you're talking about playing a open world type game. Listen, I get it. It's going to be patches. Even with the games that come out on a yearly basis. I'm talking about like the Madness. What's going on, Miss Murray? Very quiet over here. Hope all is well with you. But even like with larger games, let's say like Madden comes out every year, but they patch it throughout the year. So fixing bugs and that kind of stuff is part of the norm. It's what you expect. Playing today's video games on some of these consoles and on PC. But I was playing Mind's Eye. And this was an experience I have not had in I can't even recall the last time I had an experience so bad playing a video game. Um, for those who don't know what Mind's Eye is a open world, if you want to call it that. We're going to talk about that in just a second. This is basically an open world game, single player, tells a story, yada, yada, yada. And, it was built to be not necessarily a GTA killer because GTA is a standalone brand. You're not beating that. You're not getting past that. GTA is top of the mountain when it comes to that kind of genre of games. But it was, built as kind of like GTA Light. It was going to have a lot of the same elements. And considering that the executive producer, the guy in charge of this project for Mind's Eye, worked on the GTA projects, was a lead program developer on those projects. You thought you was going to get some of the same elements in regards to what you got from GTA. But listen, this game was so bad. So bad. Like I said, I can deal with bugs. I can deal with bugs. I can deal with glitches. As the title's got to find a way to work it out, find out what actually is wrong, and they patch it. But this is probably the worst experience I've ever had in a long time. First of all, let's talk about the open world aspect of the game. That was something that the game was promoting heavily in the promotion leading up to the release of the game. It was saying, hey, this is an open world. And people who play video games, especially play games such like GTA, or just open world games, like to explore, like to go off of the beaten path, understanding like, hey, it is a main story that the game wants you to kind of follow, but we want you to kind of get lost in the immersion of the game. That what makes games like GTA, games like Red Dead Redemption so fun, because you can go off of the beaten path, find little hidden jewels in the game, side quests, that kind of stuff. That a lot of RPG games tend to that model, like, hey, we want you to go off of the beaten path. It is a progression we want you to eventually take, but you can kind of deviate from it. And Mind's Eye was building themselves as this open world game was looking good in the quote unquote promotion, but this is the first open world game that punishes you for trying to roam off of the beaten path too often. during this game and a lot of the missions. Like I get it being linear, the story being linear, but no different way to approach a situation. No, hey, I want to do it this way. I want to traverse in this way in this kind of vehicle. Man, this is so many problems with this game. I'm gonna get into all of it, but like the open world aspect, it's not open world. You would deviate off of the path if you deviated from the set direction. What's going on, Slander? If you deviated from the set direction of the game, wanted you to go from point A to point B, and if you would say, I'm gonna go this way to go do it, the game would this automatically reset you back to the last save point. It started the mission. So there's no open world really aspect of this game. Another issue that I had, any game that has vehicles that you can drive, gamers, it's a lot of fun. I had a jacket. Yeah, listen, Slander, Mindseye's not just terrible. This is probably the worst game I've played in the past 25 years. This is probably the worst game I've played in the past 25 years. With Mindseye, you can't take vehicles. You have an assigned vehicle based on what you're doing for that mission, and that's it. You cannot take an unassigned vehicle. You can't carjack somebody and take their car because it looks better than what you're driving. You can't do that. You can't do that. So, trust me, I tried, shooting pedestrians. It's no quote unquote wanted level. It's no nothing. It's just randomly running people over, killing civilians. None of that mattered in the game. None of that really mattered. If you got to the point, if you ran over too many people, the game would just restart you back at the mission start. Listen, it is hot garbage, man. Hot garbage. So that aspect, that fun, like even indie titles, if they have stuff like that in the game where you're able to, use different vehicles to get from point A to point B. Can't do it in this game. Can't do it in this game. Then let's get into the gameplay mechanics. I'm talking about the shooting, because that's pretty much what the missions are. You're either driving somewhere and going somewhere to go shoot, and that's pretty much it. The shooting was very, not to say that I need every game to, model GTA, or Red Dead Redemption in regards to, that kind of mechanics when we're talking about mission design and that kind of stuff. This game felt like, it's the shooting mechanics felt so, how can I say this? Listen, Slant, it's not even unfinished demo. It's not even unfinished demo. It's not even unfinished demo. This game, listen, the shooting in this game reminds me of something straight off of the original Xbox. Like it was very, very basic. The enemies wasn't very challenging. It was this. It left a lot to be desired, and it's one thing to have an unfinished demo. Obviously, I don't know who beta tested this game. They did a horrible job of providing response, but the shooting in this game felt horrible, took away from the whole experience. Like then let's talk about the story. Story was okay. But then as you're playing, I don't give a damn about playing, giving spoilers because this game is that bad. You're playing these missions and this, kind of comes across like corporate conspiracy. And then like about a third and way into the game, if you've been paying attention to the clues, it's like some extraterrestrial alien, subplot to it. It was. Then when you get to the ending, if you complete the game, if you make it that far, it sets up for another game. Listen, Mindseye, I don't want another game. And this game has been rated so bad and it's been received so poorly. Even they've started to cancel. They canceled a lot of the sponsored streams that they had set up with a lot of YouTubers and streamers for this game because it plays so poorly. The game is just that garbage. The game is so garbage. Sony has actually come out in the last couple of days and said, started giving refunds for this game. Mindseye is the worst. It's the worst game I probably played in the past 25 years. And not because my expectations were on GTA level, but I've played Third. Listen, I played games on the Xbox Game Pass by independent developers with that didn't have the big budget, that wasn't all the glitz and glamour and what all the hype. They play way better than this. Way, yeah. Listen, you know it's bad when they do that, and you know it's bad. But I've never seen. It's been so long since I've seen them offer refunds for a game that came. Listen, this game came out at $60 a pop. I feel cheated. Listen, I feel cheated. Did I think it was going to be GTA? No. Did I think it was going to be something to kind of pass the time? And you brag about the open world experience, but you don't really get to experience the open world. As soon as you start to deviate off of the set path, the game pulls you back to the linear progression of the story. I mean, and it's that the missions weren't enjoyable. I mean, listen, this is a game of cut. They put more money into the cutscenes, which were not bad. Which were not bad. It was okay considering a lot of other games out there. RPG type games, you cutscene. But this game was so heavy. So heavy on the first 20 minutes of playing this game. I want to say is you transition from cutscene to cutscene to cutscene to cutscene to cutscene. It's so many cutscenes, and I get it. You're trying to tell the story, you're trying to flesh it out, and you're trying to build the story up. And I get it. I can appreciate, but the cutscenes is probably the best thing about this game. The gameplay sucked, the driving sucked, the enemies sucked. The fact that you brag about this, I think that's a problem I really had with this game is you bragged about this being an open world game, and it wasn't an open world game. Like this, not even talking about major studios. I can remember playing Crackdown, that series, and it really be an open world. Like you can go where you want to go and complete, the stuff how you want to complete it. Yeah, it's a main storyline we want you to follow, but go have fun. When you brag about this game being an open world, people look at that. I want to go play in the sandbox. It's people that I know who have played GTA have never finished beating the game because they get involved in I want to do this today, or I just want to play online. I don't want to play the story. I just want to just do crazy stuff, and it's that sandbox field. I missed it, and I can't even say this is like an unfinished demo. Obviously, it was never really properly beta tested. This is the worst game I've played in the past 25 years. And like I said, I get having glitches in the game needing to be patched. That comes with the territory of playing video games nowadays. A lot of games get a patch. It may be something tweaking with the menu or something like that. But this game sucks. This game, it took all the joy. And I had to finish it because I was like, maybe it gets, and you're playing the game and you're watching the cinematics, you're watching the cutscenes, and you think maybe it gets better in the back half of the game, and it don't. What's going on, Germ? It don't get better. The game didn't get better. Cutscenes, like I said, cutscenes is the best thing about Mindseye. I feel cheated. I feel cheated. This game was obviously rushed. It wasn't properly tested. I don't know. Listen, even if you come back with patches, I don't know if you can fix this because a lot of the issues with the game are at its core. Are at its core. It's not like this particular mission was glitchy. No, the game at its core sucks. Sucked. I mean, I took time going driving to a mission, try to reach the checkpoint, and it's like let me just stop middle of the highway driving and then just start shooting up cars. No repercussions, nothing. Listen, nothing of the source. Then you know, cars glitching into it. It was bad, man. Terrible ain't the word, Jer. Terrible ain't the word, man. Like I would have had more fun playing the original Mario or playing fucking Duck Hunt than playing Mind's Eye. Mind's Eye was that bad of a game. I wouldn't recommend it if it goes on sale. I wouldn't recommend it. All the way I would tell somebody this to experience if you have like subscription service where it becomes free, free download for that. So this game is that bad. This game is that goddamn bad. You can't. It has listen. It's no replay value. It's no. I'm gonna try a mission, a different kind of. It doesn't. The game doesn't allow you. I mean, this is. This game is struck. I mean, this is bad, man. This is. I mean, this is bad. I mean, I can remember playing games on like the original PlayStation, original Xbox that didn't brag about being open world, but had open world elements to it. This game doesn't. It's not a lot of customization. The weapons in the game ain't nothing to write home about. The enemies in the game ain't nothing to write home. This game is garbage, man. Straight garbage. So, Mindseye wins the title for worst game. Obviously, worst game of the year, and this has got to be probably the worst game. For me, the past 25 years, but I'm for damn sure in the past decade. I can't think of another game that had this many bugs, and was just this rotten to the core of a game. Complete trash. Complete trash. Playing this game makes you appreciate the time and effort developers really put into a game where it comes out. Like here you are, a AAA brand, major studio, and you put this out, and you're following, which I think right now is this game of the year. Onto my Clear Obscure, from a smaller studio, that is, open world gaming, and this, listen, Clear Obscure is my game of the year. That's my pick for game of the year. If you haven't played it, you need to check it out. You definitely need to check it out. But it's Mindseye. Oh God, I was so happy to finish it because I wanted to say I finished it. Then it has the nerve to kind of leave you with a cliffhanger, like it's going to be some DLC maybe, or no. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But moving on. We're moving on. And the second question, like after playing this game, I started thinking, like, what is the greatest video game of all time? And see, I'm a long time gamer, so I don't want to date myself. But I played a couple games on the original Atari. So I'm that old. And I started thinking about it, and there's so many games. The no ammo re-up is terrible. Listen, Slander is so many problems with that game. So many, and if you had beta tested it, hell, if you had just programmed it right, it could have been a lot of glitches, but it could have been fun glitches. It's not even those glitches in the game are not even fun. Like nobody tested this. We just we took some from this department, put some of this department, we put it together, and called it a game, and gave it to no testing. You can't tell me somebody tested this game. And I'm like, it's bad when the game comes out, people are just killing it, and they just set up sponsored streams with streamers to stream the game, in a way to kind of promote it, and they, after the negative feedback, they pull back like, no, we'll just do this another time. We'll appreciate you. Keep your advance. We're good. It's that bad. But I started thinking about what I consider the greatest video game of all time, and it's really hard to really pinpoint one game in particular. It's hard to pick one game, because even though a game may have been, let's say, came on the original Nintendo, it's like Mario will always hold a special place in the heart of real, old school video game enthusiasts, people who grew up playing video games. Mario will always hold a special place, and I don't care how many games come out, graphics and all of that. Mario's just that's for a lot of people, that's the one that got us hooked. That's the one that got us hooked. I mean, you can't have a list, any kind of list, of the greatest video games of all time, and the original Mario not be on it. not be on it. Yeah, it was video games out before that. You had your Pac-Mans, and your Galagers and that. Listen, I'm updating myself. Hey, Divine, Super Mario, one of my. So, but Super Mario is classic. You can't um you can't have a list without having Mario up on there. And you can debate which Mario had a bigger impact, and you can do that. But to me, the first Mario, yeah, to your comment, Germ, yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. It's part of the reason, I don't really, yeah, I'm into Madden, but I normally wait till they come out on Game Pass before I play it, because I know it's going to be pretty much, it's going to be a tweak here, a tweak there, but it's pretty much just a roster update. Um, Pretty much a roster update. But back to you got the Zelda franchise over Mario. Listen, I can't be mad at that. I mean, you can say the original Zelda is on that list. For me, Zelda's peak maybe Ocarina of Time. For me, I think that's peak Zelda. Some may say Breath of the Wild. But Zelda's, I mean, you can't, like I said, you can't have a list. You can't put together no list of greatest video game and not have them guys on it, man. You can't. So it made it very hard. So I tried to come up with like the best I could do. All things considered. I got Mario, the original Mario, on my list. I've got Red Dead Redemption 2 on my list. Zelda, Ocarina of Time on my list. GTA, I would say GTA 5 slightly over GTA 4, just for the simple fact you had three characters, three interchangeable characters, three, and so there's three different stories going on. So I think that kind of pushes it over GTA 4 for me. But yeah, I got that. I got I would say God of War when it came to the new updated version, because for me that was the first game to like, hey, we're going to transition from cut scenes to back to live action without having loading screens. First game was Crash or Frogger. Listen, Frogger is those are classics. Frogger is definitely Red Dead Redemption is a listen. I mean, but Rockstar, like you can't listen, that's probably the greatest video game studio. I'd be hard pressed to find a studio that has been more successful at creating, um, especially when we're talking about open world games, than Rockstar. Rockstar is the standard bearer, and that's why they make billions of dollars every time they release. They don't rush a project. But Red Dead Redemption 2, I mean, this and I thought, listen, going back to Mindseye, I thought Mindseye was going to have a little bit of that where you can kind of go off the beaten path and find little hidden stuff to do, but you just you don't get it. You don't get it. But yeah, definitely Red Dead 2 is definitely on the list. GTA, listen, GTA 4, I like GTA 4 because it was like, okay, now we're taking the next step in the progression as far as like the immersion experience. But I think GTA 5 gets the edge just for the simple fact you had three different characters, and you're balancing, and it's three different kind of stories, and you can get lost playing that particular character and deviating off of that their path and getting and all of that. But I think GTA 5 gets the slight edge over GTA 4. I'm waiting to see what GTA 6 does to kind of top that, because regardless of what GTA you're playing, Grand Theft always gives you a good story, an engaging story. And when you decide to deviate off into the sandbox, it definitely rewards you. Yeah, Rockstar don't miss. Rockstar is less. Rockstar says they're coming out with a game, take my money. because I know they put the time and the effort in, and they know that we're going to give these people a good product. Now it may have some slight bugs. I mean, that just happens when you're talking about programming, but we're going to give them such a good product that you can just get lost in it. And for that, that's on my list. I had to think about sport. I want to include some sports games in it. And for me, as far as football, I'm not a 2K person. I used to be, but this like 2K, became you know, too commercialized. I don't, this became too goofy with the parks and all of that kind of stuff. But as far as football, I I got it down to two. I would probably say Madden '06, and I got NFL 2K5. I think from Madden '06, just for the simple fact, that was peak Vic, and playing with, that was the first time you had a player, especially at the quarterback position, that could do all of that, and that made the game a lot of fun. But I think 2K, if I had to pick between them, I would say 2K5, NFL 2K5 is peak NFL for me. Just for the simple fact, Madden, EA is still trying to LA Noir. Listen, nice. See, you going back, Germ. LA Noir. Listen, you listen. LA Noir was not for dumbass players. And if you played the game, you know. If you play the game, LA Noir. Listen, if you've never played LA Noir, you need to play it. I mean, just learning to pay attention, look at facial ticks, and then I mean, they don't miss, man. Um, LA Noir is a masterpiece. But look, I get why it's rated like that though, Jerry, because when you compare it to GTA, it's a slightly behind. But LA Noir was a good game. That's a game you really had to pay. Listen, NBA 2K. That's the 2K11 for NBA is probably for me. Peak 12 is in that discussion like that era you got there, Germ 11, 12, 13. Yeah, for me it's like peak. After that, it kind of fell off. Um, Fighting game. Well, if I'm doing my greatest list, Mortal Kombat 1. Um, for the nostalgia of it, the original Mortal Kombat. I would probably have to throw Mortal Kombat 3 into it because it was, the game played a little smoother. But Mortal Kombat. You listen, Slant. I know you're a little younger, but you just had to be there. You just had to be there for be playing a fighting game. I mean, the Tekken series, you can kind of take your pick out of there, but Mortal Kombat, the first one, just to see blood and guts and dismemberment, and this actually be allowed in arcades and stuff for people to play. Like, yeah. But listen, Mortal Kombat is you just had to kind of be there to play it. Now it's progressed and all, but Mortal Kombat at the score was like, I mean, it's so many great fighting games, and like even when, like we said, come together with this list, I didn't want to limit it to MK10. MK10 was, I like MK11. I would say, it's this the story just got kind of goofy. After that, I think they, been kind of finding ways to tweak the story and push the narrative forward, so it's got kind of goofy on that end. Um, Fight. Listen, they bringing. I want to say they had Fight Night come out, but not like not what was it? What was it? Fight Night. I think the best one was for me with Fight Night Round 3. That's the one with I think it had Roy Jones on the cover. And I think for me, I think that was peak. But see, when you putting together this list, you can't just really limit it to a particular genre. You almost have to do each genre by themselves, because you'd be doing a disservice if I say, hey, these are the 10 best games, period. regardless of genre or it's games. Um, Ultimate Alliance was good. X-Men Legends, um, X-Men Legends 2 was probably better than 1. But Ultimate Alliance was good the first two. Um, and for those, I listen. I wish Marvel would go ahead and let Sony and Microsoft get those licenses back, and so they can re-release those games. But Marvel's holding on to it, clutching their purse. But listen, you can't have, like, you can't just really narrow. It's like you can't really narrow it down. And like I found myself thinking like, man, because you feel like you disrespecting somebody if you leave them off the top 10. You feel like you disrespect. Like, I haven't even gotten to like Call of Duty. I think Modern Warfare 3 is peak. You know, I think you can't talk about greatest without having Metal Gear Solid on that list. And it's so many games, depending on what you like, that you got to kind of put them on the list. Like, but Mindseye will not be on that list, people. Mindseye will definitely not be on that list. I mean, the Diablo series, um, you know, Elden Ring. I mean, it's so many games that deserve a place. If you're putting together a top 10, you feel like you're slighting them if you don't put them on there. It's for some of them, not necessarily for the graphics, not necessarily for the story, but just because what it meant. I mean, hell, we're gonna talk about the greatest football game. Really, the greatest football game of all time is Tecmo Bowl. I mean, let's keep it a buck there. That is the greatest um football game ever produced is Tecmo Bowl. That is the greatest. I don't, 2K5 was wonderful. It's that new era. Madden 06 for me was peak, but Tecmo Bowl, nah. I mean, the first Halo, um, you talking about that changed, hell, that put Xbox on the map. I mean, the Gears of War. For me, Gears of War 3 is the best, because it was kind of like the real for me, the real conclusion to that story. And of course they got, spin-offs and all that kind of stuff. But Gears of War 3 for me is so man, it's so many games. I couldn't. I started to try to narrow it down to a list of 10. I said I can't do it. Even if I did a list of 20, I feel like I'd be leaving a game off because a game may have played that well. And we're talking about the major games, but it was games on the Dreamcast. And for those who had it, or the GameCube back in the day, that did the thing. I mean, hell, the Nintendo 64, WWF No Mercy, best wrestling game of all time. I could be here all night going, just having flashbacks, but I won't have no flashbacks about Mindseye. That mess was trash. Complete and utter dog trash. Don't buy it, don't rent it. If somebody gives it to you for free, you might want to question how much they really care about you. Well, since all the nerds are in here, it seems like, have you guys seen spoilers for the new chapter of One Piece? Have you seen the new spoilers? Just you ain't gotta just type yes in the chat, no in the chat, because the new spoilers have come out. I'm on the fence about where this is kind of going. It seems like it's leading towards another kind of a training arc for the Straw Hat crew. If you haven't seen it, nope. Okay, I won't spoil it for you, Divine, if you haven't seen the spoilers, because I like to see the spoilers, then I actually like to see it when a chapter actually comes out. But Oda is kind of running through. So with the next chapter that comes out, it's not going to be a break. The next one, so they're gonna start pumping them out. Speaking of Dreamcast, you got that old Taxi Driver. Listen, Taxi Driver, Burnout Paradise. Listen, it's so you can't make a list without this throwing games on there, and then like I said, some games just because of what they meant for the video game culture. Like if you think about PlayStation, um, PlayStation had games, but what put PlayStation on the map was Final Fantasy VII, the original PlayStation. Final Fantasy VII put them on the map. And for me, Final Fantasy VII is not the greatest Final Fantasy that they've ever put out. I like Final Fantasy 3, 6 for those who play the Japanese version. But that's not even like and those are great RPGs. But I mean, you can't talk RPGs and not talk about Chrono Trigger. Has too much. It's okay to have too much going on right now. They're kind of slowing it down with the new chapter Divine. I'm not gonna like I said, I'm not gonna spoil it for you if you haven't read up on it. But it's kind of slowing it down. We are getting a flashback, some flashbacks in the new chapter. How Oda likes to kind of take a break from the live action and give you. Hopefully, these flashbacks lead somewhere. But I kind of give you the gist. I kind of give you the gist of what I took away from the new spoilers for the new chapter. It was setting up another training arc for the Straw Hat crew. Setting up kind of like Luffy's training with Rayleigh. It's kind of setting up that with Scarper kind of pulling through, and apparently it is another level to Conqueror's Hockey. If you've been kind of reading up and you're current, hopefully you're current, Divine. Yeah, Germ, I read the spoilers. I read the spoilers, Germ. Definitely see, like I see another training arc kind of taking off. I see it. I want to know what advanced Conqueror's Hockey is going to get. Divine is she's caught up. She's caught up enough, so I can kind of give some of the spoilers. But you need advanced hockey to kind of hurt the Holy Knights / the Gorosei, because they pretty much use Emu's power. Is kind of how it's implied. So it's setting up another kind of mini training arc, and then we find out only 2 of the Straw Hats have Conqueror's Hockey. I thought it was 3. It may end up being 3. But for you Sanji lovers, Sanji does not have Conqueror's Hockey as of yet. Does not mean he's not very strong. But he's it's implied, it's actually said that he doesn't have Conqueror's Hockey. So Zoro and of course Luffy are the 2 to have Conqueror. So without saying too much, do you feel the new revelation about how to damn? Listen, I don't think it leaves them in the dust. I don't think it leaves them in the dust. Listen, Germ, this is how I'm kind of because after reading the spoilers, I'm thinking like the Holy Knights will be occupied. I think the Holy Knights will be occupied by others. I look at if I had to pick 5, I mean you got characters that you got Don Flamingo still out there with Conqueror's Hockey. It's been implied that Dragon has Conqueror Hockey. Sabo may have Conqueror's Hockey. By the time we get to that final battle, it's been teased in the new spoilers that Loki maybe he's offered a position in the Straw Hats in the damn, I'm ruining it for Divine. She's not going to read it. But Loki's been offered a position in the Straw Hats. I don't think he accepts. But I think he plays a role in the final battle. I think a character that a lot of people have kind of forgotten about that does have a level of Conqueror's Hockey is Yamamoto. So I think they become they start to include them back in the story. But when you look at the rest of the Straw Hats, like outside of Zoro and Sanji. I mean, it's of course it's tiers to the group. I mean, but Robin and Chopper have always, and Nami have always been kind of like support characters. Usopp has been kind of situational. I mean, but we know, of course, Luffy's main character, he's going to be what he's going to be. Zoro, and is clearly number two, but it's not like he's that much above Sanji. Jinbei is kind of like that bridge to I guess that bridge to the past for them. But the other three, they've always been kind of support characters. What would you rank? I would rank Jinbei in regards to the Straw Hat crew as is. I would probably rank Jinbei fourth. I'll probably rank him fourth as far as in terms of strength. Maybe not importance in the story, but in terms of strength, I got him fourth. Hey, DMO, welcome back. Yeah, he's well, he can't listen. He's too big. But I think he's going to be kind of like an ally when it comes to the final battle, and that's kind of what we're supposedly racing towards now. What Oda is doing, but yeah, I got Jinbei fourth. I got Jinbei definitely fourth on the list, but that's not a bad thing. I mean, when we're talking about who's above them, it's not a bad thing. But definitely, I'm definitely sensing another training arc, so we can see what advance, what next level. Because when you think about it, if you think, but for those who have kept up, the only time I've really seen Emu affected is when Joy Boy's hockey was released. I think that's the only time I've really seen him affected. On like a physical, have a physical reaction to Joy Boy to hockey. Now that's when Joy Boy's hockey got released. I think I don't know. I'm just saying, listen, they kind of listen, Journey kind of dumbed them down. I get it. But it's to place emphasis. But you really look at since I mean, Egghead wasn't really a proper display for anybody except for Luffy. I mean, when you really think about the kind of battles that could have went on Egghead, it wasn't, Luffy probably had a, of course he's the main character, he's going to get a lot of fight time, but it wasn't like Egghead took the next step in advancing the skills of everybody else. Like even Luffy to a degree, it is like he's powerful. Sun God Nika form is what it is. Gear 5 is what it is. But it wasn't like he's gotten more powerful and he's taking the next step. I think probably the greatest revelation coming out of Egghead as far as power scaling is Barney, reacting to the Nika, Sun God Nika fruit, and how that, could probably play out later on. But Egghead wasn't, a progression of power coming off of Wano. It wasn't. It just wasn't. I think with the setting up now, with Scopper talking about, advanced hockey, I think that sets up, the next step of power scaling for a couple of the Straw Hat members. I mean, they're due. They're due to train. I mean, because it wasn't like, Luffy got his ass handed to him by the Gorosei, but it wasn't, overwhelming power. And I think, you can't be having, even matches with the Gorosei and expect to be emo. I just don't see it. So I'm expecting some kind of trainer arc in the near future. Yes, that's definitely blasphemous, Jeremy. I didn't even want to comment on it. Wasn't there supposed to be a live action? Yeah, DMO. I mean, they've had live action. Listen, I don't like live action I don't like when they adapted. Netflix did the One Piece live action. I want to say they're coming out with another season of that. I just don't like it, man. I'm just, and that's just me being me. I think you just when you come to manga, let's keep it a buck. When you come to manga, I think the only way to properly I can't think of a live action translation um of any manga where I was like, yeah, that holds true to what was in the manga. Somehow as far as like stylistically and all that. It just seems goofy. Dragon Ball, nope. Bleach, nope. Um no, I don't like live action adaptations of manga. I just don't. I think you ought to just, if you're gonna do an adaptation of the manga, let it be anime. Can you imagine, for those who read, well, read, because the series is kind of over, who read Solo Leveling? Could you imagine that in live action? It just don't hit the same. And especially when you're talking about um not so major studios or doing it. Like, nah, I'm good. Some I don't uh, outside of Sanjay, you saw I can see Robin getting King's Hockey. I don't know about that one. Like I said, I think it's going to be some power scaling, definitely. If it's going to be, if it's going to be Final Battle, Straw Hat versus Gorosei and Emu, it's going to have to be some power scaling. Chopper, like all of them guys are going to have to get strong. Yeah, live actions never work. Some are good, but some stay. Listen, you just you can't properly adapt. You just can't. It doesn't. For me, it doesn't. It's not like a comic book. And manga and comic books share a lot of similarities. But manga is, I guess, a little bit. I think the style just lends itself to be translated better in anime form. Like you can do live action, comic books. I mean, Marvel's built a $1 billion empire doing it. You can do that, but manga is different. Like, can you imagine them trying to franchise and do like, let's say Naruto? It just doesn't, it just don't hit the same. It just don't hit the same. It has to be in anime form. Um it just has to be an anime form. But yeah, I definitely see some power scaling. I think that's what they're kind of hitting at with the latest spoilers for chapter 1152. Um, so Divine, it'll be out soon. But the sport, like I said, the spoilers are out, and typically the spoilers be on point. To a degree, it leaves out some details, here and there, because you can't give it all away. But very much looking forward to the next training. I see training arc being the next step for the Straw Hat crew, because you got to get stronger. You gotta get stronger. I mean, it took everything you had to get off of Wano, and you escaped from Egghead. So I think some power scaling is needed. I think some power scaling is definitely needed. If you're going to compete against the Gorosei, and Emu is, if that's the final battle, you got to have some power scaling. I'm just saying. Things like SpongeBob, but I don't like that. For animators, I appreciate the art. Listen, yeah, comic books are for me a little bit easier. With um manga, like it just don't look right. It just don't look right if it's not in anime form. It just doesn't give that true spirit of the manga. Yeah, they need to train. Listen, they got to. But when you think about it, Luffy hit Gear 5, really hasn't perfected the form. I think it's to me, I think it's another level he can go to. In regards to the form, it seems like it's a powerful transformation. Don't get me wrong, but being able to sustain it and hold it and moderate, it's kind of like how can I put it? Him going Gear 5 is kind of like Goku going Super Saiyan. Like the first time, like it's pure power. But once he learned to refine it and take the next step with that power, I think that's where you got to kind of take Luffy. I mean, it's kind of like with the Naruto series. Like, you have the Sharingan, then the next one Toma, two Toma, three Toma, you know Then you get the full Sharingan, then you got Mangekyo Sharingan, then you got internal Mangekyo Sharingan, then it goes into the Rinnegan. Like you need progression. The power scaling is a key part of any manga. And I think we haven't had one in a long time. Um I think Sabo. So I think listen, I think Sabo can get it. I think Sabo's I think Sabo's a lot stronger than some people realize. I definitely think that, to be able to escape from, Emu and the five Gorosei in one piece, says a lot, considering the circumstances. So I think Sabo, he could be one of those get King Saki. I'm curious to see what Dragon looks like, in full battle mode. Off topic. What are those little bugs attracted to the light? I'm outside of my laptop light to attract these little. Why are you outside? Why are you outside? But it's like you need to be in the house. I'm pretty sure the sun down where you at, Divine Fair. I feel like him and Dragon or go to War of the Gods Nights. He would have to have it. Yes, I think Sabo. Um, you know, I think Sabo's gonna end up having Conquer Saki. I'm curious to see because they talk about it in the new spoilers. They kind of bring Shanks kind of back into the picture. Um, they kind of bring Shanks back into the picture. So I'm curious to see where they're going to go with that angle. Um, does he, stick with the pirate side, or does those family ties, or win him over in the end? I'm just saying. Could Shanks be an undercover agent? I'm just saying that's something to think about. I was going to say maybe Jay's. Yeah, we got to see him in football. But I think, like I said, training arc is next, and that's just my speculation and opinion. You got to coming off like Kaido and Big Mom was one level. Gorosei is the next level. We kind of see what that looks like up close and personal. It was kind of like let's get up out of here, hold our own a little bit, but let's get up out of here. No real hope of defeating them per se. So I think you got to take the next step as far as training, and it's over. Listen, it's overdue. This is definitely well overdue. I mean, let's keep. It wasn't. Listen, nothing against Kizaru, but it wasn't like Luffy was dominating Kizaru. Yeah, he wasn't really dominating Lucci like that. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, when you compare it to him versus Kaido, it's just I don't want to shit on Luffy's name, but who knows? The lure of the D is still it's listen, and that Divine has also been part of the problem. Like who like too much goddamn lore. Like Blackbeard has been, it's his off on his own journey. Like, what is is it possible for him to get another devil fruit power? Can he stack 3? They kind of touched on Blackbeard. I forgot how many chapters ago, and it kind of like this. We moved in another direction, and it's whatever. We'll pick it back up when we pick it back up. But that's part of the problem with One Piece, man. Too much lore just be sitting out there, and it not be explained or just kind of just left up to the ether. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, that's one way to put it. It's nice side of my view is the life of darkness. Okay, well you enjoy yourself. Make sure you got some off or something. I don't want the bugs attacking you. I mean, it is that time of year. I don't know if you get mosquitoes where you at, but I'm a brother. I don't like to be outside, especially during the summertime. Not without some off on. If you have a cookout, do not invite me. I don't show up till 6, 7 o'clock when the sun is going down. I do not do that. Another one he has 2 minutes. The Divine, I don't think he has to. Listen, Blackbeard is going to figure into the final angle. What I don't know. What I like, I don't understand. I don't know what his goal is. Like, I think he's going to play a role in that, and we're going to get that, that matchup. Eventually, eventually we get that matchup. Um, but yeah, this. I mean, this was dope, y'all. This has been dope. This has been dope. Did I? Well, I did pin it. Oh, so I guess y'all just want to hang out in the chat. But anyway, oh yeah. So we I might kind of make this a week thing. I don't know. Kind of play it by ear. We'll see. We shall see. Hold on. I got interesting. Interesting. Okay, where is that going? Let me change this up real quick. Okay, I hate my new setup. It plays. There we go. Okay. Well, I'll get you about an hour with me running my mouth. Yeah, we might make this a weekly thing, kind of get together, nerd talk or whatever. I'm not sure what the no divine, no divine. Oh no, not that. You're not coming up. I ain't worried about that. That link been pinned. You ain't coming up. I saw you talking about your favorite son. Right, I'm the child that grew up and left the house. The other two still sleeping on the couch. I'm the one that got grown and moved out. But anyway, man, it's fun nonetheless. It's no don't mind me. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But don't mind me. But I enjoy doing this stuff over here, man. This kind of vent and have nerd talk and whatever. But yeah. Okay. I thought Slander coming up there with his pink feather. You know what, Divine Slander hasn't come up. Oh damn. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How
Nice.
you doing? How you doing, Miss Lady?
I'm always good. Don't you know that? How you doing?
I am listen, I am well. I am in a such it's been a long time.
It has been.
Yeah, it has been. I've been keeping up a little bit, with
Mhm.
certain people, but
Yeah,
it's
I'll never
all.
see you.
Yeah, you never see me.
Mm-mm.
That's part of the allure.
Yeah, email be dry and shit. Ain't heard nothing from nobody. But I ain't gonna say nothing like that. That's a different topic. It works both ways, but I ain't gonna say shit. How's the
Yeah,
missus?
yeah. Just but I'm doing well though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, you know, I am in such a good place, and except for playing Mindseye over the past week,
Hmm.
I've been good. I
So
listen.
was I.
I hate a bad video game, and I can like I deal with glitches because
Hmm.
that's like the standard when you're playing, especially a brand new game. But this game is oh god, I feel cheated.
Oh damn. My
I feel
other half,
cheated.
he plays just the games that be on the TV and stuff, and he loves his Pac-Man and stuff, and I'll be like, I I just ah, I just can't do it. That little mother sucker just gets away from me, and I be getting too mad at it. So when y'all be talking about all the comics and when I watch DC and stuff, and when they play games and stuff, oh my God, you guys just pique my interest so much. I be trying to find time to, especially this One Piece thing is very interesting to me.
Well, I mean, you can listen with One Piece. It's a lot of stuff, like because this is something that's been running a publication that's been running for like 20 years.
That's what my
Um,
nephew was saying.
yeah, so it's I know it can be overwhelming for a lot of people when they first get into it, especially if you didn't come from like a decade ago.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what he said. He could get into it because it was so much.
but yeah, Divine, yeah, Saints Row. I like the second one better than the first one.
Okay.
But you should definitely listen. Video games are a healthy, and a lot of video games. Um, you don't it's so many genres of video games. Like you got video games that you could, I think you would probably get into.
Yeah, we used to do PlayStation. We used to always our game was Mortal Kombat and Resident Evil. I was whooping his ass, except for when he would play the law. Then he would just like kick me in his ass. But yo,
But yeah, you can get in, you can still get into those games. They got, like I said, they got genres of games that I think you would get into, that are kind of like puzzle solving.
honey, I
Um
want to fight. No, I
oh,
like
okay,
them war
okay.
games.
Well,
Yeah,
they got, listen, they got plenty of that. They
yeah,
got plenty they got plenty of that. Do you
I'm
like
into it.
yeah, like Grand Theft? I think you would have fun with Grand Theft.
Yeah, I can't wait to play, honey. Cause Seven, all her designs in The Sims, when The Sims first came out, I just thought it was kind of weird because so many people was getting into it and they were staying into it and like they didn't have any more life. So I was kind of scared to get that involved because I've been getting into it. But then the way T presented it and then Seven presented, I definitely gonna get back into it. So yes, I am
Yeah,
so
listen,
into this.
and video games are for it's a healthy outlet.
It is.
It is definitely a healthy outlet that kind of, and it keeps your mind sharp. That's something I've learned over the years of playing.
Hmm.
It keeps your mind sharp because you're talking about focusing on mechanics and timing and that, like, so you got to kind of lock in, especially when you're playing certain type of games.
That hand-eye coordination is good too, especially as we get older. So
Yeah.
that's another thing.
So I mean, I listen. I play at least. I try to give at least an hour just to kind of like, and it helps help decompress after a work day. Like
Absolutely.
I just want to play the game. Get lost in a mission or whatever I'm doing, or if I'm playing a fighting game, get lost in tweaking my fighter and stuff. I like, for me, I like my favorite genre of games is,
Hmm.
I guess you could say, role playing games or
Okay. Okay.
RPGs. Just because I like to get lost in the story while also having fun with the mechanics of the game and gameplay. But I like a good story. Fighting to be fighting is cool, but I need I need a little bit more. Shooting to be shooting is cool, but I need a little bit more. I need something that'll get me, that'll pull me in, to want,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it makes me
I'm
want to
sorry.
play
Go
it.
ahead. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was saying. I definitely get what you want because like when I watch y'all play or watch some people play, it's like I forget that I'm watching a game. It's almost like I'm watching a movie. So I
Hmm.
just yeah, I love that, and I do like those horror games. But god dang, they be like so violent. But damn, I like them.
Yeah, I mean, but listen, it's so many games,
Hmm.
and even I go back from time to time, and I like to play the classics, just to kind of, you know go back to when life was a little simpler. But
God,
the game is still good. Like, I still got a Game Boy.
no, ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't that, I ain't saying nothing about that. It's okay. Now, if you said Atari, I might have
No,
questioned you a
listen,
little
I
bit.
will want I will want an Atari just
Are
for the
you serious?
nostalgia. Yeah,
Oh
like,
my
listen,
God, that
I've
was so
played.
fun.
I had every system. I was that kid. I had
Hmm.
every system that you
Grandma
can
did
think
that.
of. The only thing I didn't have was a Coleco. I had an Atari, had a Nintendo, had a Sega Genesis, had a Dreamcast, I had all of that stuff. Some of that stuff, like,
Nothing.
those systems didn't even last 2 years, but I had them. Like,
And even reminiscing about it, I could just hear the happiness in it because you like picturing yourself when you was playing it and just the joy you felt. I love that. That's
yeah, you can't
mm,
listen. It's If you are an avid video game player, and video game players know, like, it's certain games that it kind of like mark. It's like music. It marks a moment in time. Like,
hmm.
what you was doing, where you was at, what was going on in the world. Like certain games are like that.
That's
And that's
crazy.
like the joy of like, I don't think I'll ever stop playing. Like,
And
I'm
I
not
feel
gonna be spending my life streaming them. Like some people do. Like, some people do it for a living. Like, that's cool. I don't like them that much, but I'm gonna still play my video games. Like, I may not buy as many as I used to back in the day. I was one of those. I needed to have the new releases. I needed to be up on the latest. Like now, I'm just like, hey, well, my subscription services, I'm kind of like wait and see. Like, let me read review. Like back in the day, I didn't read reviews. I just bought games.
Just bought it. It's too damn expensive now. That's like $80 just wasted. And I remember when Grand Theft Auto first came out, my cousin, my nephew called me. He was like, "Auntie, please, it's coming out." I was like, "What is it?" And I didn't know it was so violent, but it was like, was it? So I know all about GTA. And why is it taking so long for it to come out? What's up with that game?
See, with the studio Rockstar,
Okay.
they don't put. Listen, if it's one studio, I will give my money to blindly. Like they could charge $80 for GTA 6 and get it.
Hmm.
Um, they take so much time in the details of the game. Like
I
I
saw
want to
the
say that,
previews. Golly, how far they
like
just in the preview.
yeah, just in the preview, but this is so like even with GTA 5. I want to say GTA 5 came out like I want to say like 10 years ago. And you got people that still play it because they still provide updates for it from time to time.
Oh wow. Okay.
But you got people that still play GTA 5. And like it's the small detail. Like you can literally get on GTA 5, grab a bicycle and do that and and have fun doing that. Or you could, do like some people do. I want to get the most wanted star levels and see if I can get away. It is so much to do. But they want to make sure that at the core of it, the gameplay is fun and enjoyable, but it put a lot of detail into it,
Yeah, I
clothing,
didn't notice that.
the cars and all. 2013, yeah, 2013. It's been that long. They came out in 2013. People still play it now. Like it
Well,
just
we
came
know.
out.
I know we ain't let Divine drive. I know that's for sure. I'm
Well,
not
yeah,
getting in the
I
car,
seen I
so
seen
I'm good.
her. Yeah, she's a little loose with the wheel. Um, she may not be the perfect person if you're playing online to be the getaway driver. I will say that I've definitely seen that. Assassin's Creed is great. Final Fantasy 10, no, divine peak Final Fantasy is either Final Fantasy 3, which is Final Fantasy 6 in Japanese and on the Japan version, or Final Fantasy 7. Every maybe I would say maybe 9. Final Fantasy 9 could be in that conversation, but I would say Final for me peak is if I had to pick, I'd pick Final Fantasy 3 just for the
Definitely
simple
check that
yeah,
out.
just for the simple fact you had all of those characters, but only the first half of the game was linear. And I think
Okay.
that was a big departure from most RPG. That was like the change of RPGs with Final Fantasy 3. Um, for Teresa, I don't know if you how much you know about RPGs, but like a lot of them used to be, this is the story, this is where you're going, and it's only one way to get there.
I'm
Um,
familiar.
with Final Fantasy 3, the first half of the game was like that, but the second half of the game, you still have to end up at point B, but you could have took a lot of different routes in a lot of different directions to kind of get there. Um, and that kind of like led to the open. I would say that probably led to like the open world model. Like even with GTA, it's ways you can complete every mission. Like every mission has certain parameters, but you know how you choose to do it. Do you want to be stealthy? Do you want to go in loud, or do you want to
So you
have
have more
a
choices now. That
Yeah, I mean, it's like
okay.
it opens it up, and
Okay.
that's like, kind of like the beauty of RPGs now, to where in the past it was just like Mario. Mario was you played your way through the level, got to the
Okay.
castle, and beat Bowser, and that was it. That was it. It wasn't no deviating. It wasn't no different way to kind of do it. Just this is how you had to do it.
So every
I-
game can be different because the choices you make.
yeah, like even with GTA,
Okay.
even
Yeah, that
GTA
sounds
5,
really
like
cool.
you have you have your missions. But if I want to be like Divine and be crashing everywhere on my way to doing it, I could be doing it, or I could be the smooth player that I am, because I've got some experience. I'm a
Okay.
better. I would like to think I'm a better driver on GTA after seeing Divine drive. Like I'm good. She drives like an NPC. Um, I'm good. just
She
very.
was so, she was all. I was like, where the hell did the car go? What's she
No,
doing?
she just listen. I watched Divine. I was like, damn, am I watching an NPC or is this a human? Like Divine just listen. Divine is scary behind the wheel. Like she cannot be the getaway driver for my online heist crew. I'm
Told
sorry.
her, I told her, I said, no, you get over, honey. I'm gonna drive this one. You not doing this one. You go around the block and after I seen that, no, you scoot over. All right, driver, so you the getaway driver now.
Yeah, but let's say Grand Theft. The reason why it takes so long because there's so many different activities. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could go deep sea diving,
Oh,
um,
shit.
hunt sharks. I mean, like it's so much stuff to do in GTA 5. And that's why people are still going back to it and like I can just log on like, oh, I want to do this today. I want to do that day. I want to
Right.
do this. Like they put a lot of time and effort into the details, but at the same time, we it's open world. We want you to explore. They encourage you to explore. Um, find out if you can walk into this building or not. Or can you? What's the highest skydive? Can you? I like
Mm.
that's part of like, but I like to get immersed in the game like that. GTA is this. It's a brand. It's a brand. Um, you just can't. I mean, they put so much detail. Like even with the Red Dead Redemption series, it's from the same studio.
Okay.
So much detail put into it. You actually feel like a goddamn cowboy. You
Oh
know,
shit. I got
yeah,
you. I
you
got you.
might want to,
Got
you
you.
might want to, you might want to try that.
Oh, definitely. I
But
got
I
the
mean,
list of them, and I what's so you said any of the Final Fantasies?
yeah, I would say if you're gonna be introduced to Final Fantasy, they do have um I would say Final Fantasy 7. The original, which you can buy on like some console services, or I know Final Fantasy the remake is on PlayStation 5, but it's also coming to Xbox soon. But if you want to get into like you can find, like whatever game system you play on, you're pretty sure you can find a version of Final Fantasy um for that. And this kind of introduce you to the role playing to like Fable. The Fable series is pretty cool. I just like they're good stories. But
Okay, so are the I'm sorry, are these because I got a bunch of them on my laptop. So if I go in there and I'm in the Play Store and they saying all these different things, those are basically the same games.
well, I
Or
you have to let me see what your Play Store looks like before I was like, yeah, that's like the same thing. 'Cause
well, if I was
I
in
would
contact with you, we probably could have did that, but I ain't gonna mention that again.
I'm just saying, I'm
I'm
just
just saying, you too busy playing video games to contact folks.
um, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Listen, I'm in the sky.
Yeah, I see you. I see you. I don't see you, but you take your ass to the sky then. We'll get together when we supposed to get together.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't like I said, I wouldn't recommend no game I wouldn't buy or have played already. So
Right.
I would definitely do that. But if you play on your laptop, I don't
Red
if you
Dead.
got a Play Store, like you might want to look into, getting Steam and
Okay. Steam.
yeah, it's kind of like Steam is for people that like to play on the computer or the laptop.
Okay.
And you play some of the same titles that you people play on the console. Um, Ghost Recon's Wildlands was cool. I like Breakpoint a little bit better.
Okay. I
Because
see it.
I'm talking to Divine, like, yeah. Yeah, Breakpoint, I like Breakpoint a little bit better. But Wildlands was dope, taking down the cartel, but I like Breakpoint a little bit better because, you know, you could do all of the stuff and make it completely immersive. Listen, you could disagree all you want, Divine. I mean, but in Wildlands, listen, you didn't have to manage your stamina. In Breakpoint, you did. You couldn't just be running up mountains, like it wasn't nothing. I'm just saying. Well, the
Okay. I'm
story
all kinds of confused. I thought
look,
Tom Clancy was an author.
he's an author, but some of his stories have been translated to video game form. Yeah, Tom
Oh,
Clancy's
okay.
yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna just come up under from my rock and then I'm gonna pay attention to what's going on.
The link is pinned, Divine. I don't know what you're talking about. Everybody else sees the nowhere is
Oh God, here
located.
we go. Here we go. Let me get my ass out so y'all can have the
But no,
conversation.
but listen, check it. Look into Steam.
Oh, I just
Um,
downloaded it.
yeah, and like it's you can find games on there that you can play on the laptop. And like I said, a lot of those games that you see on Steam, they're all on the major consoles, so you're not getting like a fake Final Fantasy. You're not getting Fatal
Okay.
Fantasy. Like you getting like the real deal. So I know a lot of people that play on Steam, that play on PC and laptops. Um,
Oh shit, y'all might be finding me up in there.
okay, well, let me. Divine says she can't see it. She must be blind. I could have swore I pinned it. Didn't I pin it?
Yeah, it was, but it's all the way at the top. You might want to drop it again.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll drop it again for the uninitiated.
Okay, yeah, it's all the way at the very top. You gotta scroll, like you do on my wall.
Okay, all right. So, but yeah, check out the Steam, and you'll find
I gotta
you'll
create a
find
new
something
account.
on there that'll kind of keep you engaged. But I would recommend, like I always recommend some people to, if they want to get into video game, get into RPGs, because
Okay.
you can kind of get lost in the story without having to be stressed out about the mechanics too much. Um, a lot of games have tutorials at the beginning of them anyway, but you can get into those games and not be, like I said, worried about, if I'm doing something right, just follow along with the story.
And this is gonna be fun because we both like doing this anyway. So that's just some more time that we can. Okay, she didn't put that picture up. See, that's why I was gonna get my ass down because I knew it was gonna happen. So, so hi, my little London lemon drop.
Hey, DMO.
I don't
We're
got
about
this
to get
joke
to
out of
scrapping.
bed.
I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna go back inside because she told me to go inside because it was late. So I'm gonna just listen to the conversation. I love you both, and I adore the hell out of you.
You too, Patricia. I listen. I'll reach out to you. Like I said, I'm the kid that left home.
I understand. You always welcome back, darling. You know that. You
I
know
know.
I got you. All right, my loves. I'll see y'all a little bit.
See you.
Bye.
Darling.
Now, are you gonna argue me on Ghost Recon Wireless versus Break? Are you serious?
No, we're not going to argue. But you have to admit that Breakpoint, yeah, sucks in the storyline.
Yeah, the story. Listen, I get you. Storyline. If Wireless has a better story, because you're systematically breaking down the cartel.
Right.
Well, why I put Breakpoint over Wireless, one, you could play it solo, like just
Yes.
you. You didn't have to have squad.
Yes.
Two, the mechanics of it was a little bit more realistic. Like you wasn't sprinting up mountains without
Mm-hmm.
feeling fatigue. So it had
Yeah.
that kind of like survival factor. With Wildlands, I like to play Breakpoint without my AI teammates, because for me it
Mm-hmm.
makes it a little bit more challenging. It makes it kind of like a mixture of Wildland, like Ghost Recon and Metal Gear. Like I'm
Yeah.
solo, so
Mm-hmm.
now I
Mm-hmm.
have to take down this base, and I have to do all of this stuff solo. Like I like to play like that, no HUD, none of that. Wildlands, like I said, the story was better and it made more
Mm-hmm.
sense. The AI kind of thing and the technology. Breakpoint kind
Mm-hmm.
of lost me with the story. Um,
Yeah. Because it was meant to be the continuation because of what is it? One of your former colleagues in it went
yeah,
rogue.
yeah. I mean,
So
it is a continuation to a
yeah.
degree. Like if you add, you get some of the DLC, some of the old characters
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
show up, but
Oh, we got one of the DLCs, and it was just like, where is this game going? I was just like, oh my gosh, we paid for the DLCs, and I was still not happy with it.
yeah,
Well, happy, I wasn't, and
yeah,
I
I
and I
paid I
felt.
paid for them after they went on sale,
Mm-hmm.
because I was not.
Yeah.
Listen, there's certain games that come out with DLCs that I am not paying for until they go on sale,
Yeah.
no matter how much
Yeah,
I
I
want
bought.
the
I
DLC.
got gifted Breakpoint. See, I bought Wildlands, but then I was gifted Breakpoint, and then after completing the storyline, the DLCs were coming out. So then I got what is it? The extended passes and stuff.
Mhm.
To go to other islands and that. I was like, where are we going with this game? I was,
That was,
oh,
but the other island was set up for raid purposes.
yeah, but I
Yeah,
didn't like
eventually open.
that.
Well, I mean, it was they had to kind of get. I think they had to kind of get into like the raid aspect of it because
Mm,
I think when Breakpoint between Wildlands and Breakpoint, you had the
mm,
division. And
yeah.
division. When they started doing the raid thing, that that boosted their
Mm-hmm.
boosted their stuff. Um, like we're not just gonna give you a DLC and open this island. Like we're gonna make this island. You can come here and explore if you want to, but
Yeah.
we're making it for raid purposes, and
Mm.
get the gamers back over there to it. But yeah, I liked it.
No, it's
Wildlands, like
not
I said,
bad. It's not
Wildlands had
bad.
a
But
good story.
Wildlands is just good story and the gameplay and I enjoyed that a lot. Especially playing with others as well. I really did enjoy it. Talking
Yeah,
about I can't drive. You ain't seen me drive.
listen, you did it. I watched. I said, "Oh Jesus, this is the NPC driving. This is not. This is not a
I
human. This
haven't
is
played
an
it for a
NPC."
while. I haven't played it for a while. I've been a little rusty, but I can whip. Don't get
Listen.
twisted.
How rusty you gotta be to be driving like that? You have
I
got to
can
be
whip.
hella rusty. Like, come on, now, GTA. You play it so much. You know car physics. Like
I
it's
know.
nothing. I said, "Damn, man! Like, this is your first time playing?"
And that's why I'm the fun one in the group, okay? I
I'm like,
make the
Jesus.
stupid.
Listen, do not buy Mind's Eye. I don't care if somebody gifts it to you. Do not play
Wait
that.
until you see me fly.
Oh God. Oh God. I understand. If you're as bad as that at driving, I know you. I know you're worse at flying.
Listen, my driving is good. Trust me. Yeah, flying now. Yeah, that's what it goes.
Come on now, you're a
Oh my
GTA
gosh.
head. Come on now, you should the
Uh,
physics, the
I hate
game.
flying. I hate it. I don't like it. I hate it.
I like.
Uh,
I would say this about GTA 5 when it came to flying.
mm-hmm.
What I didn't like,
Well,
I didn't like how the camera would move sometimes on its own,
yeah. Yeah, I didn't
and
like it.
that made it a little bit more complicated than it had to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you're just trying to soak, to try to get you to soak up the scenery. Um, but yeah,
And I
I
like to listen to the music, so I like to hear the tracks play out.
yeah, but I think GTA 4 does a better job with the flying part, but
Yeah, it does.
GTA, I
I
mean,
got a special space for GTA 4. I love GTA 4. I really do.
when I'm thinking about GTA 6. Like, how do you?
Mm,
I'm thinking about like you obviously got two main characters. Um,
mm-hmm. Yep.
yeah, you got two main characters.
Yeah,
Um,
Lisa and Jason. Yeah.
so I'm thinking you're going to kind of take from the model of GTA 5, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Rockstar is going to be able to. I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to do it. But it's when you think about all the stuff to do in GTA 5, like how do you
Yeah.
take that to the next level with GTA 6? Like,
Maybe we become the third character. If it, do you know what I mean? We may become the third character. Might get to play as ourselves alongside them to a certain part. Who knows? Wouldn't that
oh,
be
I
wouldn't that
didn't
be
know.
interesting?
I mean, because they've never had other than like GTA Online, create a player.
Mm-hmm.
They've never
Mm-hmm.
had. You've always played, one of the characters they created. But I mean, you could.
Maybe.
But that listen, you know how dope that would be.
Yeah.
To not just be like, you can only do it on online. Like you could
Mm-hmm.
actually like you start the game out kind of like what Saints Row did.
Yeah.
Like start you with a brand new player that you create and
Yeah.
incorporate them into the story and all of that stuff.
Yep.
Um, now that would be listen, that would be the next that's the next level.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool because, like I said, because they bought the 5M server, um, they own it. So, because of all of the role play, servers, that's done really well and how they've seen it work. Again, I go back to No Pixel. No Pixel is one of the biggest servers on the role play server.
Mm-hmm.
Against what's his other one, Gizzy World, whatever his name is. I don't pay him no attention. But because of what they've done in it and how they've created all these storylines and how people move and the setup and that, I think that could play a big part. I think I can see us being the third character.
Listen, that would be in a GTA game
And
without it being
yeah,
online. Like that would be super dope.
because a lot of people mock that role playing world, but if you go and watch some of it, yeah, you've got to listen, you hear the dialogue of them acting and playing the story and stuff. But what they've done in that role play world with GTA is amazing. They took it to a next level.
And you think about it, they've done better each
Hmm.
time they've come out
Yep. And
with
that's why this is
GTA.
taking so long. I'm not mad. Like, I was mad, but then I'm like, you know what? It's better we get a polished game than, this Mindseye shit that's going on and what happened with Cyberpunk.
Yeah, Cyberpunk that had a rough start. Cyberpunk
Hmm.
had a
But do you
real
remember seeing Cyberpunk for the first time? It was just like, wow. Like, okay, cool. This is interesting. And then when we all got it, the game was like, but when the time you even tried to load it up, the game was in shambles. It's just like, what is this? I
it
went
was
to
very
Sony.
buggy. It was
It
very
was so
buggy.
buggy.
But Cyberpunk recovered. I would say that much.
It sure did. It really did. And it's turned out to be a really good game, even with the DLC that you can get with it. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a really good game.
Mind's Eye, listen, I don't see it. Like, listen, the first time I tried to carjack somebody,
Hmm.
couldn't do it.
That's meant to be a series. So that's meant to be apparently the first one. And then there's
I,
another one.
no, you can't. Listen, this has got to be a one off with a cliffhanger. You
No,
cannot.
they said it's a series. It's meant to be different outlooks and stuff. There's meant to be more chapters coming. So they say.
Listen, I played it, and like the ending leaves you with
Hmm.
a cliffhanger. Like, oh, is at least a DLC may be coming.
Yeah.
How bad this shit is. Listen, they're giving out refunds for this game.
Good.
How bad this game is. Like, I don't want to continue
Mm.
this. No, I'm good. I do
Now
not
finish
want
it.
to.
Just
No,
finish it.
no,
You
no,
gotta finish it.
no. Listen, I played the game. I said, let me play it all the way through because like some games may
Hmm.
start rough. No,
Yeah.
this is fake open world. It's not. It's not even open. It's not even really open world. Like when you try to deviate off of
Hmm.
the main path, the game pulls you back. Like it'll restart you. It's like
Wow.
I walk outside my house and I'm just gonna
Yeah.
roam. No, it's none of that. It's like
Ah.
it's quote unquote designed to be open, but it's not.
It's not.
Like before I go to the mission start, I just want to go do something. Like it's not really
It's a
no
confused game, basically. Because we
confused girl.
remember how games used to be like that back in the day. You couldn't deviate. You just had to keep going straight, going towards the mission, and that was it. But if you presented this game like it's gonna be out open world and stuff, and it's not, then what was we doing with it?
But
Like who was?
most games, like if they say they open world, they typically open. Like even with my new favorite game, my game of the year, Clear Obscure.
Mm-hmm.
Is once you get past a certain point, it opens up. Like yeah, you're free to roam here, free to roam there, free to do whatever you want to do at this point. Like even
Yeah.
after you beat the final boss, it's still other stuff to do. Like yeah, you can roam here, do this, do this, do this, do this. It's challenges I still haven't done.
Mm.
But yeah, Slam talking about speaking of buggy, he got King's hockey. Okay.
That's the one that wears that pink feather boa. Okay. Don't get me wrong, I love Delphi. Woo. Oh, okay.
But as I said, but GTA 6, I'm cool with it
Mm,
taking another year. I don't know. I think they really could have released it, but I think they want, they're so used to dropping perfection when they drop.
yeah.
Rockstar doesn't drop games with a whole lot of bugs.
Mm-mm.
They just don't. They just
Nah, they
they,
don't.
but
It's gonna be
I
exciting. It's an
yeah,
early release date as well, May as well, because I think most of them have been released in September, I think.
yeah, I want to say
Well,
it's September. It was going to be in the second
mm-hmm,
half of this year. They were
mm-hmm,
going to release, but I think Rockstar's like, no, we might want to add something new to it. Um,
mm.
is it Ghost of Yotai K drop soon enough?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I like that. I like that.
Mm.
Um,
But
well, we all know. Listen, GTA 6 drops, whatever game you're playing,
mm,
goes to the. I don't care how good the game is, it goes to the back burner.
it will.
And
It
it's
will.
I don't care if God of War drops, around the same time. It's like a Kendrick Lamar album dropping. Like you clear the calendar. We,
Mm-hmm.
we, we don't want no smoke. Like nah, but yeah,
Yeah, GTA 6 is gonna have my full attention. I'm not trying to be it within hours or anything, but I'm just gonna be just exploring. I just want to see what I can do within
yeah.
that game. I'm
I'm
so
not.
excited for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. That drops in October. Yeah. Yeah. Ghost of Your Time. Yes.
Yeah, I'm
My,
getting it. I'm getting it. I like Ghost of Tsushima. I enjoy Ghost of Tsushima. You could do a lot in that game as well. I know it's kind of still restricted, but I enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima. I really do.
but it's not restricted. Like, listen, my eyes is like you. But Ghost. Listen, I don't think people until you played this, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
recommend anybody play it. Like, I've never played a quote unquote open world game
Mm,
that is not open world and is so. We're gonna jam this story down your throat. Like, it is so many goddamn cutscenes. Like, it is
mm.
like you get to this point. What do you do? Cutscene. Do a little action. What do you do after that? Cutscene. You drive here. What do you do? Cuts. Like, I am exhausted. And like the cutscenes are visually nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it pushes the
Mm-hmm.
story along. But I wanted to get out and like let me see what this open world really is. What activities I can get into. What mess I can get into. Like, no,
Mm.
no, and
Yeah.
and
Did
they
it take you back? Did it take you back to like the first like Watch Dogs?
no
Because
the first Watch Dogs was open world. Like, yeah, you had like you listen. Every game you play has a story, but
mm-hmm,
every game, especially if you're talking about RPGs, you
mm-hmm,
can even if the story is linear, people
yeah,
like taking different routes to get. Okay,
mm-hmm,
I know where B's at, but let me go over here and see what's over here, what's
yeah,
over there, what's over
yeah,
here, what's over. Like even with GTA, like you knew what the main story was, but what
mm-hmm,
you don't you can come on, log onto the game and you may just want to play fucking tennis for an hour, or you may want to go play golf, or you may want to hustle and make some money, rob some
mm-hmm,
banks, like
yeah, true,
whatever you wanted to do. The story, the main, point B will still be there, but
yeah.
like no, just no. I think I finished the game in like mine's. I think I finished that in 8 9 hours.
Wow, that's crazy. But I guess the expectation was because the guys from Rockstar, a few of them were from Rockstar, that this was going to be something spectacular, and turns out, nope, no, it won't. And how
Yeah,
long was it in development for?
I don't even know. I think it was some years it was in development. It really just kind of started picking up steam as far as like people hyping it and promoting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, over the last year, and listen. I don't think anybody looked at this as a GTA killer, but like Saints Row was never a GTA
Mm.
killer, but Saints Row was like, yo, this is a fun game. And we gonna.
Yeah, Saints Row was fun.
I didn't like the
I wasn't a
reboot.
big fan of it. Oh, the last one. Oh my god, that last one was. Oh my.
No,
Oh my god, that last one was it was horrible. They made that thing COVID or something because that was it was horrible.
I mean, I guess they had to put something out on the new consoles, but like
Yeah, but
I like Saints Row the first two, because
mm-hmm.
it was like over the top, goofy. It wasn't too serious of a game, but
Mm,
it had a good enough story, to where like you can get along with it, and the gameplay
nah.
wasn't that. I like what was the one of the side missions was like uh,
Mm-hmm.
stopping the pimps or chasing the hoes or one of
Yeah. In the early ones, but that last one, Jesus Christ. Oh,
no,
it
that was
was
just
tragic.
they cashed in on the name, and that's all it was. Um,
Yeah, it was tragic. It was not the Saints Row that everyone knew and stuff because I was there when Saints Row was the battle between GTA and Saints Row. I like Saints Row better because you could do this and X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, nah, I'm not coming over there.
but
And then I
no,
dabbled in it.
GTA had to kind of had to add extra stuff to it because of
Yeah,
the Saints Row influenced GTA going forward.
yeah,
So
of course. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it definitely did in customization. Definitely. Yeah.
like okay, cool. Like these guys are doing this. And Saints Row was like, we're gonna take it. It got to the point it kind of be goofy with the aliens and
Mm-hmm.
all that. Like, it was like
Yeah.
yeah, like GTA follow your ass to Mars. Sorry, bro.
Mm.
Like, you took it as far as we wanted to take it, but yeah, GTA was they take some elements from Saints Row. Like okay, people like to deviate and have
Yeah.
reckless fun. Okay, well let's promote that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Get more activities to do um with it.
Well, we like to deviate from San Andreas. San Andreas was that is one of my beloved ones as well. I love San Andreas because that is funny. Just getting fat and then working out
Yeah.
and
It's
other
like
activities. But hey.
GTA. I'm looking forward to that. Um, other than like Ghost of Your Time, like I look at the
Mm-hmm.
remaining calendar for the rest of the year, like,
Mm-hmm. There's
eh,
not a lot.
and
There's not a lot.
I mean, I like more. I'm moving away from like bigger studios outside of like guaranteed studios.
Mm-hmm.
I like looking at like the smaller studio because they tend to
Yeah.
they put out great games now, like the games that
Well, Gorilla,
yeah.
can't go wrong. Horizon Zero. That game is fantastic. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean
Horizon. I loved it.
I mean that's another game that flew under the radar, didn't get a lot of
Mm-hmm.
pub. Um
Mm-hmm.
it's a game
Uh,
EA put out some years ago that could have went somewhere,
mm-hmm.
but the live service they had for it was just EA just sucks at certain shit. Was
Yeah.
an Anthem game.
Anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Anthem, but it just got to the point where because it was live service, like they just stopped updating it. I like
Mm-hmm.
when was the last I like Outriders when that came out.
Mm.
Um,
Nice.
because it was a different kind of mechanic. Like you had to you couldn't just sit back and snipe and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
you had to it forced. I think Outriders had like a new model where your health and stuff was
Mm-hmm.
based on how much you actually engage. So like just sitting
Mm.
behind cover wasn't the move. Like you had to be, I had to be the person rushing to like, but
Mm-hmm.
like Outriders was a good game, but that kind of went under the radar. Um, but I like smaller studios because I think they put a little
Yeah,
bit more time and effort into it. Because
they do.
like EA, I'm not a fan of like Dragon Age last game. Oh my god, I was so disappointed with the last Dragon Age. I was
Really?
I would listen because when you coming off, I don't know if you played Dragon Age Inquisition, the last one.
No, I've seen it though. Yeah.
When you come off of that, and you talking about building character, like a lot of people get into those kind of games where you like building characters and
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff, and then you go from that to building different characters to where you can have builds, but you only playing one character. Like,
Yeah.
like depending on my computer teammates to do this instead of being able to
Mhm.
switch to them and play with those builds on them yourself. Um,
Mhm.
I didn't too much care for it. Um,
Mm.
and the story was there, but the
Yeah.
gameplay,
Game.
like, no. I mean, it wasn't a horrible game, but the gameplay just was not there. And I felt disappointed because I waited about 10 years to
Mm.
next part of the story, and the story was good,
Yeah.
but the gameplay was
But
like, like
mm.
I just it's like that. It's like that.
Yeah, we're going through a crazy time with games. I just said, like I said earlier in my life, just like play what you like, man.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. Do you give a game a chance and stuff? That's what I said. I'm so eager to play this Mindseye, even though I know it's bad. I just want to play it for
No.
myself.
No. No. Listen. Do not do it. Do not make the same mistake. Listen, you're gonna be
Yeah,
pulled
Carl.
in with the cut
Yeah.
scenes, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like, the gameplay just fall. Listen, the gameplay doesn't match, and then like you're gonna be irritated because like it's just cut scene at the cut scene,
Mm.
cut scene at the cut scene at the cut scene. Then
Mm.
like story, you think you kind of got a grasp of it, then it gets weird with the alien angle. Like like what is this? Like, no, it's like it turns into like a bad Disney movie with the storyline. Like, who wrote this? No, no, don't
Oh man,
listen,
that's sad.
don't. I'm telling you, don't like
What's the studio called for this?
um
What?
let me look up the studio because I wanna, you know,
What's
let's
this?
see.
Because now it's put their whole studio in, because everyone's
Let
gonna
me
be looking
pull
at
it
them
up.
crazy.
Listen, that studio.
They
Let
call
me pull it
themselves.
up. Mine's our studio. Like Jesus, they need to.
Oh, it's called Build a Rocket
The
Boy.
studio is
Build a Rocket Boy.
Build a Rocket Boy,
Yeah, that sounds stupid. As it. You
and
see what I'm
this.
saying?
But they only reason people like turned their attention to it because one of the developers, the chief developer, was the guy that worked on
That's what I'm saying. From
GTA.
yeah. Mm-mm. Now anything coming out of there is gonna be now shaky. Now that's sad. They should have known. They should have like they have people to test these games before they come out in their beta stage. Who signed this off?
Nobody listen. I don't think nobody tested this. Like
See, that's even worse.
I don't think nobody tested this game. Like,
It's weird considering where we're at. I've been to a few test runs of certain games and stuff, and like people give their feedback and they take it on board or they don't. But you can't. No,
I
in
mean,
this day and age, you can't do that.
I'm just looking at some of the review scores, and I can agree with
Hmm.
all of them. Like Metacritic has it at 27 out of 100.
Mm.
GameSpot was 3 out of 10. IGN was 4 out of 10.
Yeah, that's sad.
I mean, it's
That
just
is well sad.
uh, uh listen, I will play Mario before I play Mindseye again. It's that bad.
Mm-mm.
The original
Mm-mm.
Mario. Do do
Oh
do do
no,
do do.
do 2D Mario.
I will
Oh,
play
wow.
2D. Listen, I will play 2D Mario. I will play Metroid. I will play all of that before I play Mindseye.
Well,
Just
speaking of, the Nintendo cult, what do you think of the Switch 2 and what they're offering and stuff so far?
um, Nintendo is kind of like the forgotten child out of the big three.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've seen some gameplay of the Mario Kart world, which is always
Yeah,
looks fun.
crazy. Yeah.
like Nintendo's for me, you know, Mario Kart World and Zelda have kind of been like the brands.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Switch is it's like Switch is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you know, it's for me, it's always been like the little brother. And
Mm.
it's crazy when you think about Nintendo was the one that set up everybody else.
Yeah.
And now they're like the little. I just, you know, it's so Nintendo is this. I just, it's like Disney for me. And what I mean by Disney with Nintendo is like they put out good games,
Mm-hmm.
but like um you're not gonna get like stuff you would get on PS5 or Xbox. There's certain
No, you're
games,
not.
certain genre of games you'll never get on Nintendo. And I think for me, that has always kind of held me back from
Mm-hmm.
like really diving into the Switch. Cause like, yeah, it's cool, but like I mean Zelda looks awesome,
Yeah, I love Zelda.
but I'd rather, you know, play God of War.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just, you know, kind of there with it. I mean, and Nintendo, just you know, you go where your money's at, but it's, you know, like they're like Disney of the video game world. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're finna get a lot of kid friendly games.
Yep,
Uh, you
that's
know,
true.
that's I mean, they know their demographic and they kind of
Yeah,
stay
they've
there.
stuck to it. Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
mean, Switch is cool. You know, it's nothing wrong with the hardware. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
you know they max it out to its potential, but like I said, Nintendo for me is just outside of a couple titles, it's kind of like you know you're not on the radar. 'Cause you know I like my you know adult theme type games, and I just
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting
Mm-hmm.
that with you. I know I'm not getting that.
Yeah.
So you know okay. Let's switch up before we close out. 'Cause, you know my stamina ain't what it used to be. Have you caught up? What chapter are you on?
I just, you know what, right? While you was live, I just read through one. I just read through it just now.
Oh, so you just came in here like a kid doing your homework on
Let
the
me
way to
bring it
school.
up. Let me bring it up. Where was I? Oh Lord, did I lose it? Uh-oh. Oh, I found it. Yeah, chapter 1151. I get the idea. Hmm.
Okay. So you're caught up to current.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on in this Elbath, I guess, arc? Listen, I'm not
I
really
don't
feeling.
like it.
I'm not feeling it.
I don't like it. Everything is happening too fast. I know there's not much to do at Elbath and stuff, but it's just moving too fast. It's like we're here and we're already in battle. We,
Well, I don't mind. Well, I'll say the back. I don't mind the battle part of it.
hmm
I mean, because
hmm
every arc has skirmishes.
Yeah.
Just- I was like, okay, they kind of need to pick up the story with
hmm
Elbath. But you know, with you have the Holy Knights coming, like, okay, this is
hmm
you guys are just making up powers and stuff now. Like, I get it. You know, the arrow fruit. I'm like, what is this, man?
Arrow fruit. Yeah.
Like, I get it. Older, you're running out of stuff. I mean, you've been doing this for 20 years, dude. I get it.
hmm
But then like what really kind of like brought the whole arc down for me was you know the introduction of Emu. You know,
Yeah.
like what is this, dude? Like, yeah, I'm gonna make Dorian Broggy demon giants. Like, what is this?
Mm.
Like, I'm just not.
I don't like it.
No, it took me out. And it was, you know, Elbath was, you know, it still can be a nice
hmm
setup to a lot of other stuff, you know, moving
hmm
forward. But I'm just not. Nah, I mean, it's like it's very rushed, and we just kind of like
It's
glossing
all
over.
over the place.
You know, like we're glossing over. You know, that could have been a chance coming off of Wano, coming off of Egghead,
hmm
or Elbath could have just been nothing else but, you know, a chance to kind of I guess decompress and
Mm,
let's get into some of this lore and storytelling. Like
right.
like what happened with blah 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 blah. And I'd rather have a whole bunch of flashback chapters.
I was just about to say, I'd rather know what went down at Good Valley more.
We'll never get that.
I
We'll
know, but it would have been interesting just to have a little bit, you know?
They gave you a look. They gave you all you wanted, all you need to know. Like this happened. We can assume that's where Kaido got his devil fruit. We know that's where Quinn got
Mm-hmm.
his devil fruit. Um, we introduced to Shanks Pops, Garland,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all you guys need to know.
That's it.
We didn't show you the hyped up battle between the Rocks Pirates and the Rock. We didn't show you that.
Yeah.
But like Elbath could have been that opportunity to kind of
Mm-hmm.
tie up, like because we are obviously moving towards endgame. Elbath
Right.
could have been the
So why
arc.
did we tie up with some of that so we could have seen what happened?
Well, I don't listen. I don't know what direction Oda is taking this in. We all know where this ends. Um,
Mm-mm.
but how we're getting there is confusing to me coming off of Egghead. Like this has been a time, Vegapunk, could have been like, while I got the time before the world ends, let me tell you, woo 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 woo, and
Mm-hmm.
let's get some of this lore cleaned up. What really happened during the voyage?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh,
But
that even the void said, yeah.
I mean, we're just gonna gloss over it. We're gonna gloss over it. We're just gonna gloss over it. Like now we're moving into now we have it's setting up to be like the next training arc is because you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to you got to power scale him at this point. If Emu is this much of a beast that he's killing and taking over bodies
Right.
from God knows how far away,
Mm-hmm.
like we need power scaling. Like you can't be gear 5 and you're good for 20 minutes and then
And then
it's a
yeah,
wrap.
that's it. Mm-hmm.
So,
It doesn't
but
make sense.
no, I don't think anybody can really track where Oda's going with this. Like we know where it ends, but it's like, what are you really building towards? Like, what are we going to do? Some chapters, showing the revolution because we heard that uh
Yeah.
Mare Joie is under attack, but
Mm-hmm.
and we ain't seen nothing.
Say nothing. As I'm saying, so like you could tell when Oda's on his meds and when he's not. Like it's all over the place. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I mean, we're still going to read Oda, but I mean, Jesus, dude, like we want to know what's going on. Like we want to know. Like that's the beauty of manga. 'Cause like you can always see an
Mm-hmm.
arc coming and how it's should be playing out. Like Jujutsu Kaisen. Like
Mm-hmm.
I knew how that was going to play out as far as like final battle, but the power scale leading up to it and the train. Like
Mm-hmm.
where are we going with this? Like Oda is
As I
this
said, this
Oda
is rushed.
fault.
This section is rushed. I don't care what no one says.
But
The
how do you
whole
rush
thing of getting
through?
to Elbaf was such a big deal, and now we're here. It's just like we're just running through it.
I mean, Elbef has been listen. It's been a letdown. When you're
Mm-hmm.
coming off of
Egghead.
Egghead was straight, but you coming off of Egghead. The introduction of the Goro Satan action.
Mm-hmm.
You coming off of Wano. You know
Yep.
that arc. Then here we are.
Even Wano was good.
Yeah, Wano was. I mean, it was set up the next like this is power
Mm-hmm.
together. Like Zoro, you got to get stronger.
Right.
You got stronger. Luffy got stronger. Like
Mm-hmm.
then we get to Egghead and the whole message from Vegapunk and the
Mm-hmm.
real live action introduction of the Gorosei in action.
Right.
How much of a beast they are. Then
Mm-hmm.
and then we get the Elbath and it's
It's just all over the place.
it's like a dud. Like we're here. All of this this history and like Vegapunk is lost in the sauce. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's not really like before all the world gets flooded. Basically, what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what I know about this. And listen,
Yeah.
I like Luffy's character, but come on,
Mm,
We're 20 years in, dude. Can he still be acting this oblivious to stuff? Like
mm-hmm.
naive? I get that's your character, but like he ain't
Yeah,
matured.
he should have grown. He hasn't matured at all.
Like you haven't matured. Like even Zoro and Sanji have matured or something. Like
Hmm.
they still like yo, I'm the prankster, the jokester. Like I don't know what's really going on. Like I'm disappointed. Elbeth is suck, man.
Yeah, you would think actually from when, from Amazon Lily and stuff that he would have matured, but he hasn't. It kind of inkled that, it kind of was, lining towards that way, but he hasn't when you come to think about it.
Listen, I would have rather this happen. They get off of Egghead, and then I would rather the story that before we even get like you're gonna really set up Elbath. Let's really set it up. Like I would have did some chapters with Blackbeard and what's going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
I would have
Mm-hmm.
did some chapters with the world government and what's going on. I mean,
Yeah.
what's going on the inner workings of them, the fallout
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
one of the elders being killed and replaced.
Right.
The resistance, like it's I'd have set up like all those different angles to
Mm.
where you was okay, what's going on with the Straw Hat crew, and now we get you in the Elbath, but like now you kind of know what's going on
Mm-hmm.
outside of Elbath when we bring you back to the Straw Hat crew. Like
Mm-hmm.
perfect way to set it up. That way, you come in as the reader looking at it like, okay, now we're here at Elbath, and I wonder if Luffy knows that you know Elder was replaced, and does he
Mm.
know about what his dad is doing as far as the revolution? Their part, like,
Right.
what is Blackbeard's ultimate agenda? Like, does he know this? Like,
No. He just went downstairs and said, "Oh, hi, Loki. Here I am. You're right."
yeah, yeah, like
So it was.
and then like the introduction of Shank's brother. Like, what is this, dude?
Mm.
I'm good. Like, why are we including this? And like Otis, like Elbath has been a disappointment. It's like
Yeah,
all
man.
you have Scopper Command,
Mm-hmm.
number two of the Rogers Pirates, and
Yep.
no, nothing. Like nobody thought to
Nothing
ask
at
him.
all.
Nobody thought to ask him what the One Piece is. Just like to ask
Mm.
Rayleigh, like had that call back to when they, was thinking about asking Rayleigh what the One Piece was. Like
Mm-hmm.
Otis, like Elbath has dropped the ball for me. I'm still read.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still read, but like
Yeah. It's all over the place. I know. That's why I'm in rush to read it. Read it. I'm just like, oh, what? I
hmm.
don't get it. I don't understand.
I'm gonna tell
It's
you
too fast paced.
a manga you can get into fairly easily, and they got some anime episodes on
Mm-hmm.
Netflix. Sakamoto Days.
Okay.
I'm telling you, like you watch the anime because I watched the
Yeah.
anime. I'd never heard of it, but I watched
Yeah.
the anime adaptation on Netflix, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, and like I got into the manga, and
Mm-hmm.
the manga is really 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 good. Like it's going at a proper pace.
Mm.
Um, and like I just can't wait for those action sequences to get animated. But like when you
Yeah,
watch the
that's
anime,
good.
when you watch the
Yeah.
anime, and I was like, this come from a manga. Like I went and read the manga. Like the anime is
Mm-hmm.
it's on Netflix. Sakamoto Days.
Yeah, I just see the guy in his little green, in his yellow and green.
Yeah, you'll be like, yeah, this guy. It looks kind of goofy, but trust me, it's not.
Mm.
It's real. It's real good. It'll you watch the anime and you be like, no, I got
Yeah.
to know what the manga's about now.
Mm. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check that out. I'll add that to the list.
All right. But any last words, man? I appreciate you coming up. I know it's late over there. Got you up out the bed talking about Ghost Recon.
I'm not a bad driver. I'm the best.
No, but it's always stop.
I can whip. Trust me. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I can whip. Just, listen, I'm gonna send you some footage, yeah, okay? Trust me,
yeah.
I can whip.
I got to see the footage. I don't believe it after what I saw. Like, nah.
Listen, I was in one of the top gangs that was featured, yeah, in Rockstars, top 10 out of the world in the early days. I could whip.
And, and what was your role on the team? They told you, hey, you got to get up in this sniper position. We don't want you where it really counts. We need you at a sniper position. You guard the rear.
Listen, my role was recruitment and make sure everyone's straight.
Yeah. You was admin support on GTA. I get it. I get it.
Nah, the real role. I was recruitment. And if I had a team, I could lead a team. I've led a team before. Has my own
Uh,
little team.
I'm sure you have. I need to see the footage of it. I don't believe you. You need more people. I'm just saying. I'm
Remember,
just
right? There's 32 people. Like, there's 32 people in a server, yeah.
yeah.
And you coming with your foot. Let's say about five of you coming to a server. You're gonna go into the server and you have to take over the server. That was the task. I managed to take over a few servers, bro.
Okay. Listen, I need to see the footage before I get to say, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
This was the early days of the online world, there were the flying cars and the fire bullets and all that. This is the early days. I managed to take over a few servers.
Okay. Well, you know what? We need to see the footage. I just can't see you, taking over a server. Like, nah.
Listen,
I can see you
my
being
name,
patient on.
my name was excitement. When is she coming to play? I want her on my team because I just did the most stupid stuff. Oh, listen, I get your streams up. Trust me. You need to come play, but you don't have PlayStation, do you?
I do. I just don't really play on like. Listen, I like Xbox better.
Oh, don't you stop.
No,
You
listen,
better
listen. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you
email
why.
the Addy.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I'll tell you why. I've had every console from both of them, but
Mm-hmm.
Xbox for me
Mm-hmm.
was a little bit more special because before it was online play, you had to
Mm-hmm.
have you with Xbox, the old Xbox, you had to have the cable connected,
True. Yeah,
and
you did.
I
Yes.
I intentionally went out and bought the cable so we could play Halo back in the day.
Mm.
And like what would make it what made it so cool, this was like, my young days, like, in the dorms.
Yeah.
You have like this cable running across the damn floor of the hallway. And like that
Mm.
that room is got a team on that Xbox. And
Yeah.
I'm in another room with my team on the Xbox. Like, I don't care what the PlayStation does. And the PlayStation is awesome. It's always been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox will always hold a special place.
Well, Xbox was better online in the beginning, so I'll give him that because everybody wanted to have Xbox just to be for the online and all your avatars, all these things you can do with it and stuff. So,
And Xbox to me has better. Like, I got the Game Pass.
yeah, the Game Pass is really good. It's really,
It
really good on
allows you to, like,
Xbox.
yeah, it allows you to go back and like, oh, Banjo Kazooie, the original,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Yeah.
like I can pull from that. PlayStation, it does
Yeah,
have
you
it.
can't do that.
Yeah, it
Only
has.
now.
I mean, it has its exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which their exclusives have been a little bit better than Xbox over the past 3 or 4 years. But
Mm.
the fact I have Game Pass, have that, some day one titles come out
Mm.
for free, but because I have the Game Pass. So,
Yeah.
but well, I'm an Xbox man. I just
That's all
can't.
right.
I think I want to say the new GTA is crossover.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, they
I
said it's
hope
supposed to be
so.
it's supposed to be crossover.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be cool.
I mean, a lot of games have started. I don't know, like a lot of sports games, but a lot of online games have started going cross server. I mean, this makes more sense.
I
Um,
think wasn't Go Wildlands. Wildlands was cross server, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, wireless was cross server.
Yeah, it was because I couldn't add a lot of people that I was playing with. Yeah.
Yeah, wireless was cross server, and I think if you're going to have online games now, especially if they're on both platforms, I think cross server. Um,
Mm,
if nothing else, that increases your online fan base as far as like people playing online. Because what's the point of having an exclusive and say, oh, you can play online, but you can only play with the people on that game?
hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you got to have cross server.
Mm.
And
That'll be
GTA,
good, man.
the GTA is gonna be cross server. That's gonna be
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. We'll have some fun. Hey, we should spark up Wildlands then. Since it's cross server. Come on now. Let me on the team. It's only 4 people. You can lead.
we go. Of course, I'm leading. I'm driving too.
I could drive.
You're not listen. You're not gonna creep. I'm like, listen. I play Wildlands. I treat it like real. I like treating it like a real tactical thing. Like, okay, let me scope out the base.
Listen, there's footage. Okay. There's footage of me playing Wildlands with a team. I wasn't lead. I was part of the team, and we had fun.
Ooh, I like to have fun, but I like to be successful. I'm not trying. Listen, I'm one of them players.
Listen, I can shoot.
I
Okay.
don't mind the firefight, but let me clear out half the base before I rush in. Like I can see you talking about where you at, Drum. You on the hill? Where you at? I'm walking through the front gate. Like no,
No,
like no.
I don't play like that. Trust me, I don't play like that. Especially in Costa Rica, I didn't play like that. I always followed my captain lead. Okay.
Okay, we'll get some set up on Wilder.
Come on, let's set up Wildlands. Yeah, I'm telling you, you have so much fun.
I'm like, what is she doing down there? I see explosions going off. What is she doing?
I am very good. I am very good. You know, stop doubting me.
Listen, I seen you
I don't
driving.
just throw a grenade for no reason.
Listen,
You know, I
I
wait.
I gotta see. Listen, I gotta see the gunplay before I say I'm taking you anywhere on the mission. I gotta see the gunplay. Like,
No, you're taking me with you.
you like, well, you done looking at everything? Like, yeah, I'm scouting it out. Like, no, I'm gonna rush down. I'm gonna look through the scope and see you on the
You
icon.
know what?
I'm bleeding out. Like, come get me. Like, shh.
That's happened a few times, but that wasn't my fault. Essentially, yeah, when we play, what is it? You know, when you take off everything because you can take off all the radar and all of that stuff. And
Yeah,
I've like been walking and I've ended up in a camp. It wasn't my fault.
yeah, yeah. Your
Just,
situational awareness is it's sketchy at best, ma'am. It's sketchy at best.
you
I
know, you would
learned.
have some fun. You know, you have some fun if I was in your team.
I'm gonna be scared half the time. Like, oh, where is she leading me to? Like, nah, I'm good.
Oh, come on now. We're going to play some Wildlands, man. 'Cause just for the sake of it, let's play some Wildlands. It's a good game. It's fun. There's X amount of bosses and bases to take down just for the sake of it. We'll have some fun.
Well, we'll tell you what, we'll get some set up. We can do that for sure.
Yeah, man. Let's run that. Especially over here. That'd be fun. Come on now. I
Okay,
think Sanders got it as well. Sanders got Ghost Recon. So could you imagine the three of us?
I can see him like, yo, somebody save me. Divine ran in the base. Where we at? Like, nah.
Oh, and add on the Terminator saga as well. Well, that's in Breakpoint. So yeah, adding on the Terminator saga DLC. That's fun. That's the fun saga. The Terminator part. Did you play with that?
Yeah, I played the Terminator part. You know what? The best one.
Mm.
I want to say, was it Wildlands or Breakpoint? I think it was Breakpoint. Yeah,
It's
the Breakpoint.
Breakpoint.
No. I'm thinking about the Predator.
Oh,
DLC.
the Predators in Wildlands. It's
Yeah,
in Wildlands.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that was fun. That
yeah.
was fun.
That one was pretty good. That was a good DLC, and the actual final battle was dope too.
It was a good battle.
I tried to do it solo,
Mm,
and like with my AI teammates, I had called in the rebels.
mm-hmm. Mm.
It took me a couple times. I was getting fucked up.
Yeah,
I
even when
didn't
you call in the rebels, I liked calling in the rebels in Wildlands.
like. I was getting fucked up by the Predator. The Terminator was more of a bullet sponge, but the
Mm,
Terminator you had to figure out the mechanics of it. Um,
yeah.
with the camouflage and stuff. Like I listen. I was doing anything to. Yeah, I was try to bring a tank with the machine gun on. I was trying every little gimmick to get by him. I finally got it done. I was like, shh, all this for camo. Like I'm good. Let
Yeah, tell you,
reward.
man, that game is funny, and I'll be fun in it. I'm fun. I'm telling you,
We gonna see. We gonna
I'm
find
fun.
out.
I can't go as I'm known for the tourists in my old crew, so I can't go shopping. I can't go play golf. I can't go bike riding. I have to stay on task and complete the mission. So I'm fun. I'm fun in Wildlands. I'll tell you, and Breakpoint. Because they up the ante in Breakpoint with what were the special agents called?
Um,
The
I-
special unit, the
um,
wolves. Was it
yeah,
wolves? Or
yeah,
were they called wolves?
wolf,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. See all of that. That's some fun stuff when you go to a wolves base. Yeah,
Mm,
well, that's some fun. I was like, mm-mm.
mm-mm. I'm like,
Really?
I
I
need,
don't just run in all gun ho. I told
now,
you. I
submit your
take
resume.
direction.
Submit your resume. I've got to see the resume first. Submit your resume.
Okay, I'll send you some footage. I'll
Mm,
send you some footage.
but Divine,
Anyways,
I'm getting tired. I'm about to go to sleep.
I
Um,
know.
I'll catch you around somewhere.
Yeah, I meant to pop out somewhere soon to get me, but that was
Yeah.
just that was petty-ish. That was petty-ish this one. I was just being extra. And peach tea tastes nice. Let me get out of here. This is fun.
Yeah, we'll do this again. I like when my straw hat show up and let the inner nerd out. So.
Yeah, yeah, this is fun. Let me get off your stream. But yeah, I'll holla.
Okay, bye, Divine.
Bye. And I'm submitting my resume. You
Okay,
you gotta add me to the team.
we'll see if you make the cut.
Furthermore, I'm on the team. I've already got a spot. Don't try it. I'm on the team. I'm there.
We gonna see. We gonna see.
No, there's no we gonna see. I'm there. Divine is there. I have a spot. I'm number 3.
Number 3. Okay, I got you. I got you.
There's only 4 play. There's only 4. Remember,
I
it's only
know. I
4.
know. I know. It's only 4. You
Right.
know
So I'm
what?
number 3. Mm-hmm.
That would be a dope stream.
I told you. I'm telling you, it'll be some fun shit.
No, 'cause, I was thinking like if Slander plays and
Mm-hmm.
we find a 4th.
And find a 4th. It'll be fun. It'll
Yeah.
be really fun. Because just how you're describing me, it'd be just like that. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, it'd be some people mad at that happened. God
Who
forbid.
cares? Who cares? Let's play. Let's play. We'll have some fun. But yeah, let me get out of here. This has been fun. I'll catch up with you soon, broski.
All
Yeah,
right,
take care of
appreciate
yourself.
you too
All
now.
right. All right. Bye.
Bye. I appreciate the good Divine and Teresa for coming up. It's always nice to, be around my fellow nerds and stuff, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. I don't know if, when we'll do this again. Maybe next week sometime. I don't know. Um, I had a good time. I ain't gonna lie to you, I had a good time. And we'll pick it up again. I have no catchphrase to end the show. I just guess until further notice, Shadow Clone no Jutsu, and I'm out.